My big thing was, if I got somebody hurt, get them out, because boxing is dangerous.
They say getting knocked down is part of boxing, but getting back up and winning, that takes something else entirely.
When he put you down, that was the first time in your career. How much did that sting your pride?
Put me down, and listen, I slipped. As far as I can say, I slipped, man.
That's not boxing.
These are the greatest comebacks in boxing history. From knockdown to knockout. Welcome back to Fight Story.
It's like Muhammad Ali once said, he goes, it's hard to beat a guy when he's got his mind made up to win. And Diego had his mind made up to win that night.
No, you won't.
I will beat you.
No, you won't.
Take you to school.
I'm ready for you.
I'm ready. I'm here, man. I jumped on a plane and got you. They offered me the fight. I said yes.
You're a fighter.
Daniel Dubois was one of Britain's brightest heavyweight hopes. A young powerhouse with knockout after knockout on his record. But questions lingered about his heart after his loss to Joe Joyce.
Oh dear, it's the left eye and he's gone down. He's had enough, he doesn't want any more.
Across the ring stood Kevin Lerena, a former cruiserweight champion from South Africa.
He's very one-dimensional, he's robotic, he's a power puncher, and that's all he's got. Well, so on Saturday night is going to be war. He's underestimated me. When I chin him with that first left hand, I'll sting him. Nerves are your greatest ally, but when you use it against you and you try to be a big tough boy, it means nothing. Muscles don't win fights, skills do.
Then came round one, and everything changed. Lerena landed, a short left to the temple that sent Dubois crashing to the canvas. Moments later, he was down again. 3 knockdowns in 1 round. Dubois' leg looked compromised, and the momentum was with Lerena. But Dubois didn't fold. In round 2, he steadied himself, survived, regrouped. Then in round 3, he struck back.
That's a good shot. Daniel Dubois, shot here. Good punches, heavy punches. Chin left hook in there.
Dubois unleashed a barrage that pinned his opponent against the ropes. Dubois had done it. From near disaster to a statement win, he silenced the critics and proved that power and grit can flip the script in an instant.
Heart in the mouth stuff for me, and I'm sure Frank, but we got there in the end. He got a great knockout.
This is one of my all-time favorite middleweight championship fights for sure. And Jermaine Taylor, man, he was a bad motherfucker.
Jermaine Taylor was the undefeated middleweight king, the man who dethroned Bernard Hopkins and defended the crown 4 times. With the pedigree, experience, and explosive combinations on his side, he entered as the favorite. His opponent, Kelly Pavlik, a tall, rangy puncher from Youngstown, Ohio, known for his grit and knockout power, but still considered a step below the reigning champ.
If you're going to fight in this type of business, you want to go to the type of places that are like this. This is where it's at, and it makes you a tougher person too, believe me.
From the opening bell, both men went to war.
Saying that he realizes it hasn't been as good in recent fights out of the ring. They haven't really moved from the center of the right hand. Another one by Pavlik. Pavlik backing Taylor.
Then in round 2, Taylor exploded with a massive right hand, sending Pavlik crashing to the canvas. The champion smelled blood. The challenger looked done, but Pavlik wasn't. Shaken but not broken, he survived the round and slowly turned the tide. Pavlik's jab took control and his right hand found a home. Round by round, Pavlik clawed back. And by round 7, Taylor, who had once looked invincible, was the one on the back foot. A brutal flurry from Pavlik pinned Taylor to the ropes. The final right hand snapped his head back. Taylor slumped. The ref stepped in. Pavlik got off the canvas and took the crown. He walked through fire, rallied back, and knocked out the undefeated champion. One of the greatest comeback knockouts of the modern era. Violent, shocking, unforgettable.
My big thing was, if I got somebody hurt, get them out, because boxing is dangerous.
Right.
And anything can happen. If they can get back up, they have a chance at knocking you out or beating you. So
you've sort of been vocal that you weren't massively happy with your last performance. You started off quite slow. What have you learned from that?
I've learned, not to be a bit naive going to the ring.
Tony Bellew was a fast-rising British prospect, known for his heavy hands and brash confidence. Undefeated and fighting in front of a hometown crowd, Bellew was expected to handle Ovill McKenzie with little trouble. But McKenzie had other plans. A rugged Jamaican-born puncher with nothing to lose, McKenzie came to spoil the party. And in round 1, he nearly caused an upset, dropping Bellew hard and silencing the Liverpool crowd.
Bellew to increase his chance. Oh, goodness me, well there's the right hand from McKenzie, and we said that he could be a bit vulnerable, Bellew. He gets caught by a chopping right hand.
Then again in round 2, Bellew was sent crashing to the canvas. The undefeated star was in serious trouble.
1, 2, bang, bingo, down it goes. And Bellew again has a long time to try and survive the second round.
But Bellew, bloodied and humbled, dug deep. He regrouped, boxed smart, and started using his jab to control the distance.
He's in danger. That's good shots. Good shot.
As the rounds went on, McKenzie's early success faded, and Bellew's power began to tell.
That's good body shot. Solid punch. Bellew's best punch. And another one. And another. He's going looking for McKenzie now. Terrific punches exchange there.
By the 8th round, Bellew turned the tide completely, hurting McKenzie and forcing a stoppage. Knocked down twice, almost out, but not beaten.
And I'll go through walls. I'll run through cars, tanks, bricks, bats, punches, you name it. I'll do whatever it takes, and I'll go to the end.
This was the kind of fight that made you forget to blink. Francisco El Bandido Vargas, the undefeated Mexican warrior, was stepping up for his first world title shot. Across from him stood Takashi Miura, the WBC super featherweight champion from Japan.
Escúchame, cuídate, listos.
Round 1 exploded out the gate. Vargas landed a perfect right hand that rattled Miura to his boots. The Japanese southpaw was nearly out on his feet, but somehow he held on. And then he came roaring back. Miura answered with pure punishment, vicious left hands, round after round, pounding Vargas and shifting the momentum. In round 4, he dropped Vargas with a thunderous shot that nearly ended it right there. The tide had turned. The Mexican challenger's face was swelling. His legs were fading. The fight was slipping away.
Reverberate all around the arena here, the thwap.
Here to make up for it, so he wanted, good left hand.
This is a round that Vargas seems to be winning, but now there's Miura staggering him again.
Then came round 9. From the edge of defeat, Vargas uncorked a savage flurry, explosive shots that rocked Miura and left him stumbling.
Now Miura struggling for his own balance.
His legs betrayed him. His guard was gone. Vargas saw it, and he didn't let him off the hook. He poured it on until the referee had no choice. It was a 9-round war, a savage back-and-forth brawl, and one of the greatest comebacks boxing's seen in years.
Tommy Morrison is younger. The weight is very comfortable for him there. Ruddock with not a big reach advantage, so that really shouldn't work itself out there too much.
This was a heavyweight clash built for chaos. Tommy Morrison, the Oklahoma slugger with dynamite in both hands, was looking to get back into title contention after a shocking loss to Michael Bent.
Big moment, and he's got it. That's it. A first round KO for Michael Bent.
Across the ring stood Razor Ruddock, Tyson-tested, power punching, and determined to reestablish himself in a division full of killers. From the opening bell, it was exactly what fans hoped for, a wild shootout. In round 1, Morrison got clipped and hit the deck.
Oh, there goes Morrison!
In round 2, he turned the tables, dropping Ruddock with a left hook. But the drama was far from over. Momentum shifted like a pendulum. Both men dug in, swinging with bad intentions, trading bombs in a slugfest that had the crowd on edge. Then came round 6. Morrison, bloodied, bruised, and nearly spent, dug deep and found a left hook from hell. It detonated on Ruddock's chin, and Razor dropped like the lights had gone out. Somehow, Ruddock beat the count, but his legs weren't with him, and Morrison knew it. A raw, violent finish to a brutal fight. And just like that, Tommy Morrison had done it. Knocked down earlier, written off mid-fight, and now the last man standing. A comeback carved in blood and leather. Rest in peace, champ.
Our main event features one of the hottest prospects in all of boxing.
David Haye had been steamrolling his way through the cruiserweight ranks. Young, explosive, and oozing charisma.
I said from my first fight, the only chance you guys have got of beating me is now, earlier on, but it's slipping away from you guys. And give it another 2-3 fights, I'm going to be unbeatable.
But to become world champion, he had to go through the battle-hardened Jean-Marc Mormeck. The French veteran was the reigning WBC and WBA unified cruiserweight champion, known for his rugged style and experience. Haye, the challenger, was stepping into hostile territory. Rounds 1 and 2 were all about control. Mormeck set the tempo, and Haye was feeling it. But by round 3, the Brit started to settle, snapping his jab, circling, showing flashes of that dangerous speed. But in the 4th round, it looked like the occasion might be too much. Mormeck caught Haye with a right hand that sent him tumbling to the canvas. But Haye beat the count, and then he made his adjustments. Round by round, the Brit found his rhythm. He used his jab, his footwork, and his trademark right hand to claw back into the fight. Mormeck's pace slowed, and Haye's confidence surged. Then in round 7, it happened. Haye uncorked a vicious right uppercut, followed by a straight right hand that left Mormeck slumped against the ropes.
He really blasted him. It's up to 4 and 5.
The referee jumped in. It was over. David Haye had gone from the canvas to the crown, becoming the unified cruiserweight world champion, and proving he wasn't just hype. He was the real deal.
It was just like a flood of relief and emotion and euphoria that I've done it, and I've done it on foreign soil against all the odds. Nobody believed I was going to do that. We know what the hell we're doing. Shut up and let us do our thing.
We have 4 woulda, coulda, shoulda, still mighta heavyweights. And that's a recipe for the meat and potatoes of this game.
Hasim Rahman came in with something to prove. Still haunted by a controversial stoppage loss to David Tua in 1998, he was trying to climb his way back into heavyweight contention. Corrie Sanders, the fast-handed southpaw from South Africa, was riding a 6-fight win streak. Known for his speed and knockout power, Sanders saw this as his breakout moment on U.S. soil. The action ignited in round 3. Sanders struck first, dropping Rahman with a sharp left hand. But Rahman fired back, and before the round ended, he dropped Sanders right back with a counter of his own. 1 round, 2 knockdowns, momentum swinging like a pendulum. In round 4, Rahman scored a second knockdown on Sanders.
And they almost both went down.
Well, Rahman held on to the ropes to break his fall.
6!
The South African was still dangerous, but the fatigue was starting to show. Sanders kept fighting, landing shots, and by most accounts was ahead on the scorecards entering round 7.
Hard right hand by Rahman. Sanders is taking that punch now.
But Rahman's pressure was relentless. He cut off the ring, walked Sanders down, and broke him apart. Midway through round 7, Rahman poured on the punishment, trapping Sanders in the corner and unloading until the referee stepped in. A brutal back-and-forth battle, and a comeback written in fire.
You had a rocky beginning to this fight. How did you fight your way out of it?
Oh, that's smooth sailing from the end of my last fight. What are you talking about, Rocky?
It's like Muhammad Ali once said. He goes, it's hard to beat a guy when he's got his mind made up to win. And Diego had his mind made up to win that night, and thank God he did, because it really went down as one of the great comebacks.
One of the greatest fights in boxing history, written in blood, heart, and pure defiance. José Luis Castillo was the WBC lightweight champion. A pressure fighter with granite in his chin, Diego Corrales, the WBO champion, was tall, rangy, and known for his warrior spirit. From the opening bell, it was chaos. Both men stood in the pocket, trading bombs with zero regard for safety. No clinching, no escape. Just a phone booth war.
Diego Corrales, Lascano, among others for Castillo. Unbelievable action! Oh, what a heavy right hand!
By round 10, Castillo had taken control. Corrales' face was swollen, and both eyes were nearly shut. Then came the unthinkable. Corrales was dropped. He spat out the mouthpiece to gain some extra time.
Put it in! Let's go.
Then came the second knockdown, and he spat out the mouthpiece again. Referee warned him, and so did his coach.
Get inside on him now.
What happened next is the stuff of legends. With his back to the wall, Corrales launched a furious assault. A right hand stunned Castillo. He backed him to the ropes and unloaded until the referee jumped in. 2 knockdowns, 1 unforgettable comeback, a fight etched into history, not just for the brutality, but for the heart. Diego Corrales proved that night. Legends don't go down easy.
How would you describe this fight?
An honor. An honor. I've been waiting for an opportunity to come out here and show that I'm a real warrior. I'm a true champion, that I will take whatever it takes to win a fight.
Rest in peace, champ.
When he put you down, that was the first time in your career that you'd been down. How much did that sting your pride?
Put me down. Listen, I slipped. As far as I'm concerned, I slipped, man.
Joe Calzaghe was the undefeated WBO super middleweight champion, slick, fast, and relentless. With 35 wins to his name, he was building a legacy as one of Britain's greatest, though critics still questioned the strength of his resume. Byron Mitchell, a former WBA champion from the US, was meant to be a tough test. A heavy-handed fighter with big fight experience, Mitchell came to win, confident he could do what no one else had, beat Calzaghe. And in round 2, he nearly did. Mitchell landed a counter right hand that dropped Calzaghe for the first time in his career. The Welsh crowd gasped, but Calzaghe wasn't rattled. He was enraged. Seconds after getting up, Calzaghe turned the fight into a firefight.
There's Mitchell. He can punch. Calzaghe's in big trouble, and he's not boxing. Mitchell, oh, he upset
Calzaghe sensed the shift and pounced with that trademark volume, relentless and smothering.
action. Has to be a candidate for round of the year. We expected a quick start, but nothing like this.
Mitchell had no answers. The referee stepped in. It was over.
It's all over!
Joe Calzaghe proved that night he wasn't just a slick boxer. He was a fighter with heart, fire, and the will to win, even when the canvas called his name.
I'm shocked. It's the first time in my entire life, but at the end of the day, it nearly always comes a time when the champion gets put down. Then you see a champion's heart to come back and win by knockout. And then you've seen all heart there tonight. There's no way that guy was going to beat me tonight. He'd have to carry me out the stretcher. Simple as that.
It depends on who's determined, who's in better shape than the other. Michael Moore has a big punch, so we'll see how Cooper can take that.
Michael Moore came in undefeated. 26 wins, 25 by knockout. A former light heavyweight champion, stepping up in weight, chasing his second world title. Fast hands, mean streak, but still untested in a true heavyweight war. Bert Cooper wasn't the original opponent. He was the late replacement. But if you knew anything about Cooper, you knew that meant danger. He just dropped Evander Holyfield a few months earlier. Win or lose, he made every fight a firefight. And this one was no different. From the opening bell, chaos.
Sleeping and drinking his opponents.
Cooper landed a thunderous right hand and dropped Moore early.
He's hurt, and Michael Moore is out on his face. Michael Moore! That fight is over if Joe O'Neill doesn't give him a count right here, but Michael Moore looks like he's out cold on his feet.
But Moore got up, hurt, but not done. Before the round was over, he returned fire and dropped Cooper.
There goes down! Out!
1 round, 2 knockdowns, no feeling out. In the third, Cooper struck again, another knockdown.
And another combination, and he has Moore down again!
Moore was in trouble, but he kept his composure, adjusted, and fought his way back in.
This is what Michael Moore should do, at least try to get up the ropes and spin out to the middle of the round. Oh! And Cooper lands again. Wow.
Then came round 5. Moore trapped Cooper and unleashed a clean, brutal barrage.
Oh! Down he goes!
No answers came back. Michael Moore was now the WBO heavyweight champion.
Bert's a tough guy. Take your hat off to Mr. Cooper. It was a good fight. He had me hurt a couple times, but I came right back. Chief Knox, I did it, and everyone else. Bert was a tough guy, man.
All right, very well put. And Manuel, good luck to you in the future.